Hey platform, I'm Daniel J Layton. You know how the news at the moment is like, this just in, a new study has shown that things are getting worse. Well, I have a solution. It's books. Quelle surprise. I'm not talking about escapism, although I am always up for a little healthy denial. Rather, I thought I'd take this platform hijacking opportunity to highlight some of the books I think you could read instead of the news. Books are key in shaping the way that we see the world. I know that's not exactly a game-changing opinion to put forth on this particular channel, but it's true. Books invite us to challenge preconceived notions of the world. Books open up the world. They make this big globe that little bit smaller. It's good to sympathise with other people's struggles, but a book helps us step into the hearts and the thoughts of someone whose life experience is completely different to our own, and that is the first step towards creating empathy and driving us towards understanding each other. So if you watch the news and it seems like a lot, don't worry, same. Here's my advice. Turn off the TV, put away the newspaper, put away your phone, and pick up a book that might help you shape your understanding of the world. Perhaps one of these. We'll start off with Post-Truth by Matthew d'Ancona. Now, you've heard of echo chambers and fake news and how our social media feeds can really distort the way that we see the world. Well, this book is about how to acknowledge that and how, as the tagline helpfully says, to fight back. We live in a time when people go on feelings rather than facts, when figures and experience and knowledge have been trumped by, I didn't mean that, superseded by scapegoats and whoever shouts the loudest. The belief that somehow knowledge isn't useful. But this didn't happen overnight, and Matthew d'Ancona is a brilliant journalist who takes a look at how we got here, what happened to make people lose their trust in expertise. Which goes back to the understanding thing that I was talking about earlier, because it might seem a bit wacky to ignore experience and experts, but it's happened, and we need to understand why, so step one. Continuing with delightfully dinky books, this is Race by Toni Morrison, part of the Vintage miniseries. This one is a really great introduction into the works of Toni Morrison and who she is as a writer, who she is as a voice. She's written extensively about the black experience and how actually black womanhood contrasts with white womanhood. How there is a shared life experience, but that there are key differences in those experiences. It's what I was saying about seeing the world through the eyes of someone different to you, and you can't really get more different to me than Toni Morrison. Her work is vivid and it is explorative, and it really highlights the intricacies of our differences, the subtleties, the nuances that set us apart. And those are all things that I feel are missing in our news and in our discourse at the moment. And it fits any pockets, so no excuse. First foray into fiction on this list with Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. Nadia and Saeed are a young couple, they're an odd couple, they have very strong differences, but they're drawn to each other, and it's about how they navigate that while their home becomes increasingly more hostile. Black doors start appearing that lead to different places around the world, and the novel follows them as they start to try and discover their role in this ever-changing world, where they might fit, what their identity is to other people. What's interesting is there's a disassociation almost, like an emotionless description of the things that are happening around them that are hostile. And I think it shines a light on where we are as humans, that in some ways there are so many things happening in the world that the humanity of it is stripped back into just numbers. It holds a mirror to us and makes us consider ourselves and our role in the world, which is exactly what good speculative fiction should do. Another fiction, this time by Claire Fisher, All the Good Things. This is an exploration of the idea of good and bad people. It's told in the first person as Beth, our protagonist, is helped through therapy sessions with her counsellor, Erica. Beth is in prison and she feels like she's only ever going to be a bad person. Erica isn't going to give up on her. And so in a manner of speaking, we are providing therapy through Beth's eyes. We're breaking down all of the elements of her life that led her to become the person she is today. We see the different experience she's had and how that has been woven into the tapestry of her life. We're finding a mutual understanding, and slowly as the story of Beth's life falls into place, we get that full complexity of her as a character. The complexity of any of us, really. Is anyone solely good, solely bad, and where do those things come from? For my last recommendation, we started with a manual of sorts. We'll end with another, Naomi Klein's No Is Not Enough. This is the author of The Shock Doctrine, No Logo. She's described as the scourge of brand bullies and corporate crooks. That's the best Twitter bio I've ever heard. And like Post-Truth, this one examines where we are and how we got here. There's a great quote from Arundhati Roy on the back which says, "This is an ordinary person's guide to hope." It's not just a list of complaints. It's like a description of how our resistance, how any no that we might have to anything, needs to be more than just passive. It's about being an active member of society, about how if you want to enact change, there are things that you need to do, steps that you need to take to make sure that something is happening. And ultimately, it's about how to function within an unstable and uncertain political ecosystem. You might not agree with everything in there, but that's kind of not the point of any of these books, really. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say, is that being a functioning member of society isn't about, you know, blindly following one person. It's about taking a look at the world and considering everything from all angles and really understanding that society is about more than just us. How we work with each other, how we live with each other, how we navigate this world together. In the words of High School Musical, we're all in this together. I'm so sorry, I regretted that the second I started singing. Now, of course, this list is far from exhaustive, so please feel free to add to it. Let me know in the comments any books that you've read that have broadened your horizons or that help you see the world in a new light. Or any books that you think might help someone else understand your experience. Sharing is caring. Don't forget to subscribe to Platform for a brand new video every Thursday. There are links to all the books that I've talked about in the description below, as well as a link to the video I made on my channel all about how it could be worse. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Go forth and read.